Okay, so putting it together so that we're parking at a mounting block is it's actually simpler than you think it is. The idea is to not try and set the horse up, but to use the two tools that you've created to actually communicate with the horse. So we're not trying to control him to stand at the mounting block. We're not trying to hold him. We're not going to walk him up and set him up perfectly for it so he's already stood where I want him. What we're actually going to do is walk over or walk round. I'm going to come up to the mounting block, and all I'm going to do is I'm going to swap my stick and my rope. I'm going to walk up this mounting block, and I'm not going to worry about where he stops. First thing I'm going to do is wait for him to relax, ask him for neutral, stroke that back, get him to drop his head and just relax. I want him to think of this place. This is his safe place. This is not a place of tension. And then when I'm ready, I'm just going to use my rope hand and my stick hand to try and use that hindquarters and guide his back until he's presenting it to me. If there's any sort of tension, I'm not going to up my pressure. I'm just going to hold it and keep asking the same question, just like I did on the ground. So I'm going to try and draw that hindquarters towards me. Good. And so one of the big things that you'll notice quite quickly is that although I use this rope hand to try and position the shoulders and the head, is that I'm not going to ever hold on to it in a tight fashion. I don't want him to feel like I'm trying to pen him in. I want him to feel like I'm trying to talk to him. I'm going to give him a lot of fuss up here. This is the area where I want to really work on my neutral. So I want to give him lots of scratches, lots of relaxing, no holding. If he walks away for any reason, all I do is ask him back using drawing the hindquarters back towards me. I don't reset him. I don't try and get down and position him where I want him. As you can see, everything's very loose. My rope is very loose. And this is the way I do it. And the reason I do it is because what I really want him to find is that there's this sweet spot right here where the saddle is and the iron comes down. Whereas if you present that, there's going to be no pressure at all. It's going to be very relaxing, and this is going to be your safe zone. If I need to back him up, I just back him up. I'm going to ask him back in his shoulders. If he turns, that's fine. It's not a problem. So I'm then going to ask him again. And I'm pointing across like it's a fishing rod. I want to catch that hindquarters and bring it towards me. Good boy. And then when he's here, I don't want to be holding him, but I do want to be rewarding him. Wants to be rewarded lots and lots and lots for standing here and doing absolutely nothing. This is going to make all the difference when I start leaning over him or putting my leg over him or starting to mount him, because what will happen is he'll realize that he doesn't need to instantly walk off. He doesn't need to fidget. That this is a relaxing place. If he comes out of position, it's not a big deal. It's not that he's done something wrong. Doesn't need telling off or correcting in any major way. So I just ask him back to where I want him, which is here. So I want him to present me the middle of his back. And you're pulling out all the tricks today, aren't you, bud? Okay, then I want to start leaning across him, putting my leg up. Anytime there's any tension, I'm actually going to back off or wait, or I'm going to click and reward. So there, we had a clear sign of tension. His head came up, but he didn't move. So I'm still going to click, and I'm still going to reward him for that. So same thing here. I lift my leg up. There's a bit of tension. I'm going to just wait a second, see if he'll release the tension himself. Might help him out. And I'm going to give him a click, and I'm going to give him a feed. And that's the 3 stages of mounting.